I just said something that I think is really deep. And just talking about it takes me a little bit out of it, so I'm not going to talk about it or analyze it before I do it. But each of us is a point of consciousness, which is God itself. And I have experienced it so much on a daily level that I can't. I wish that I could cry hard enough to express all the pain that we've caused each other throughout existence so that the world will forgive itself and move on. So that we can all move on. So we can forgive the past completely. So that we can actually make progress. I wish I could cry hard enough for the world to forgive itself. Because that's all we're doing, is holding ourselves down. Most of us will be like, no, because these guys are holding them down. If you became smart enough, and I became smart enough, and everyone became smart enough, we could group together, not against, at the same time for them, not to overthrow, but to ignore them until they see the point in what we're doing. Because love is better than power. Love is better than control. Compassion and consciousness are better than force and demand. And we're at a point now where we can do that. And if I could cry hard enough for the world, if I could cause myself enough pain, which is weird, I've experienced the deaths. I'm saying this like because I had another crazy experience with the whole Jesus thing, but no one would take that seriously because we're all that. You've felt the pain. We've all felt the pain of what it's like to put yourself on the line and to be totally torn down and nobody cares at all. So maybe it's not the same as getting stakes drove through your hands or through your feet or whipped and whatever. That's just a comparison, and unfortunately we as people have done that to somebody and we know who that is, and that's one of those weird things that lives inside of each person in either a figurative sense or a literal sense or an actual sense. Mine happens to be actual, not literal, not figurative. But what's weird about that is I can go back into normal everyday Danness and talk to people and be a son and be a father and try to be a good dad in a world where it's so hard to do because everybody's being told what to do by the government. They can't listen to their parents. They're not even allowed to listen to their dad because their dad would say, don't listen to the government. And the government would say, don't listen to your dad because he says, don't listen to us because we know what's good for you. We know what's good for you. You should eat these things, learn these lessons, and follow along accordingly. That's what you should do. Does this make any sense to anybody? It should. Because if you realize it, that's what you're blindly going along doing until you have enough guts to stand up and say, no fucking more. And when people do that, other people get mad at them. Even their loved ones. Especially their loved ones. Because they're like, don't cause ripples. Well, if we don't cause ripples, we're going to be engulfed in an ocean of shit. We've got to cause ripples in order to clean the bacteria out of this ocean. I tried to give you as many puns as I could from my heart because what's talking through me isn't just Dan. Dan is just the window for it to come through. Never was before. He used to be a rock star, or wanted to be. It's not possible anymore because he's the light, and so are you. But anyway, until next time, peace.